Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about pigeons because it's like heavy on my mind right now. We got a couple little chores to do with the birds. Check out all the pigeons over here. The little ones are getting super big. Let me show you guys. And we've got two more on the way. So here are the latest babies. And they're getting pretty big. See if I can hold it right. And they're getting pretty big now. This one's an all white pigeon. Super beautiful. And then we got ourselves a, looks like a regular rock with a couple lines in it. Look just like his dad. Just like Stanley. And then, got two little eggs that should be hatching next week. So hopefully we'll see a couple more little babies around here. Speaking of babies, let's talk about pigeons, because recently there has been an update on the farm with our pigeon flocks. And it has to do with Dennis and Betty White, my two fantails. So, my goal with the fantails, I gotta come back to this and feed them. My goal with the fantails has always been to like breed them out and, you know, get more fantails. I don't really want all of these birds. They're just not as cool to me as the fantails are. So what I wanted to do was get more fantails, breed out Dennis and Betty White, and then get babies and just keep going, keep going, keep going. And so when I originally bought Dennis and Betty White, I was under the impression that it was boy and girl, right? So we didn't fully know if Dennis was or wasn't a hen. We weren't sure. But we knew Betty White was definitely a hen because we saw her temperament, and we saw the flock she was with before. We saw a male, you know, acting friendly towards her. So with that in mind, I thought, well, I've got another fantail, thinking it's a male. Let's bring home Betty White, see what we can do. So what I did was I threw them in. I got them acquainted with each other, but they didn't really seem to like each other at first. And then I threw them in here with all these other pigeons, and they weren't really big fans. They just always seemed kind of offish. They just went off on their own and sat by themselves, and I just always like, it's just a really weird scenario. So after we built the loft coop, which if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's a newer one on my channel. I'll link it at the end of the video so you can see it for yourself. But we built a loft coop, and I'm gonna go up there in a minute. But I put them in the loft coop to separate them, give them their space, see if they'd maybe pair up. And I also was concerned that there was a possibility that these other birds weren't fully paired up yet, and I didn't want the basic birds to pair up with the fantails. I really wanted to keep that genetic line pure, so I separated them, figured we'll give this a shot, see what happens. So we took Dennis and Betty White up to the barn loft. So I'm here with Dennis and Betty White, if she stops honking and being an absolute nerd. Dennis and Betty White, very, very sweet birds. Betty White's a little bit of a spitfire, but Dennis is good. They're really cute. Anyway, talk about these. So we moved them up here to the loft. This is the barn loft. This is where they've been living for the past month, because fantail pigeons are a little bit less cold hardy. So I moved them up here. It's a lot warmer in the barn, less wind chill. So they've definitely been enjoying themselves up here. And again, like I said, my intention was to have these two have their privacy. They could, you know, not have any other birds trying to get at them, and they could just do their own thing, hope they would pair. They wouldn't have any other options. So it was going to work out in my favor either way if they were both male and female. But after a bit of research, I'm finding that that's not necessarily the case. And the thing about pigeons is you literally can't tell what's a male and what's a female unless you're looking at their temperaments like all the time. It's literally based on temperaments, and as it stands right now, these birds, they don't really show much dominance. Dennis never has, and Betty White just honks a lot, which I think that's a very hen trait, but I don't know. I can't tell what's what, but eggs were laid in the coop like 3 days ago. They've got a nice little nest back here. You see the eggs. And they got 2 little eggs. So I was super excited whenever I saw those eggs. I thought, oh my gosh, finally, it's gonna happen, it's worked out. Dennis and Betty White, male and female, because in my thought process is, well, hens will only lay eggs if the male's bred her, right? Wrong. So with a bit of research, and I looked it up, so female pigeons will just literally lay eggs. Basically what she's saying is, you know, she wants me to get her a male because she's ready to be bred. She's laying eggs. She's at a sexual maturity where she can be bred, lay eggs, hatch babies. She wants that, but she's got another female with her, not a male. So that kind of broke my heart. Because I've been candling the eggs, watching them. It only takes 2 weeks for a pigeon egg to fully develop. And so I was looking at these eggs and I'm not seeing anything crazy going on. No veins, no nothing. It's been 4 days now. I would have seen something. I'm not going to pull the eggs. I'm going to leave them there for definitely a week. If there's nothing and can't see anything after a week, then they're both definitely females. Or just the eggs aren't fertile. I don't know. But what I'm also noticing is, if you don't know, pigeons, when they pair, they mate for life. So both of these birds would have paired, mated for life, whatever. So when they do pair, one of the things is when they lay eggs, they take turns. There's shifts. So let's just say Dennis, who is probably a Denise. It's such a stupid name. Denise, let's just say she lays eggs. Well, Betty White, who might be Bob, I don't know, just hypothetically speaking, would take turns. Okay, so what happens is the male will lay on the eggs and he'll incubate it, and then he'll go out and eat, and she'll come in and she'll lay on the nest and she'll incubate it, and it's like a constant cycle. They're always taking turns. Well, every time I go in that stinky pen, Dennis is always on the nest. So either Betty White is an absent parent, or she's a girl and Dennis is just doing her own thing because it's a girl. She's doing her own thing because she doesn't have a husband to take care of the eggs. So guys, if you guys have any fantail pigeons and you're local to Pennsylvania, let me know. Comment section. I really need some. I need some male fantail pigeons. I want to keep this genetic line pure, so I'd really like to see this work out. But as it stands right now, I got 2 females wanting to have some babies, but I ain't got a male to make that happen. I got plenty of pigeons out in the coop, out in the aviary, but I don't want to bring them because I don't want to mess up my line. Dennis and Betty White are beautiful birds. I just have to find 2 more American fantail pigeons. If you guys know of any in central Pennsylvania, or in Pennsylvania in general, local to me would be preferred, I'll drive for some pigeons right now. I want to make them happy, and I feel really bad for this situation, but it is what it is. You don't know when you buy pigeons, I guess. So there's a little bit of an update for you guys, and an educational video. So, can't tell the difference between a male and a female. You can really only tell with temperaments. And if you guys watch closely, they'll let you know what they are. You just gotta watch them. Wait and see. See what happens. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens and if it works out. Hopefully it works out. I'm looking to buy some pigeons, so more pigeons, yay! If you guys are from Pennsylvania, if you're any of my viewers and you're from my area, let me know. I've got plenty of pigeons. I can get pairs possibly sell them singled out again. I'm not gonna know what's what until they pair up. Then you'll know for sure, well, that's a boy and a girl. But until then, if you guys want pigeons, they're juvenile, they're only about 2 months old. Really beautiful birds. If you want to check them out, I think I've done videos of them hatching, and they're in some of my videos. So if you want any pigeons, leave a comment down below and I'll hook you up. If you want to get me any pigeons, leave a comment down below and you can hook me up. We can do a trade. But anyway, that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching and listening to my rant. Gotta keep you guys updated on all this stuff and educate you in the process. Hope you learned something about pigeons while you're here. As for now, I'll see you guys in the next one.